All right, we're in. Welcome back to the podcast. My name's Dean Barton. If it's your first time listening to this is a very rough and ready podcast. I say it how it is. I pick a topic per episode, all about construction entrepreneurship in terms of the business side, getting the business really well, but also entrepreneurship as a whole and business skills, business tactics, strategies, all types of stuff and manners of mindset and everything that's involved with running a business and being an entrepreneur, because there's a lot more to it than what people think. And, you know, most of it is about the psychology of the person, believe it or not. It's about you as the owner, the person going after stuff and making a success of yourself and getting what it is. It's about getting your head right. So the purpose of this podcast is something that you can listen to, episodes typically half an hour, quick, sharp, and to the fucking point of getting you some fucking help to push you along and move you forward. And look, the topic of today, there's something that's been on my mind because of what I've recently noticed, the time of year, the change, is the opportunity that's ahead. You know, and I mean that in two senses. There is the time of year that we're in, where the mentality of people that give up and put the brakes on and basically be a little bitch and a pussy and go, well, it's dark outside, it's cold outside. Drive goes down, motivation goes down, and this is the fucking problem. You can't rely on motivation and feeling good all the time to get what you want. This is a time of year to go harder and push on. And the other side is the opportunity of the industry at the moment, construction as a whole, entrepreneurship as a whole. There is a massive fucking opportunity because the newspapers are full of doom and gloom. The media pumps out that, you know, it's not a great time at the minute. Inflation's fucking through the roof, property prices are dropping, mortgage rates are up, you know, and all this is to like an agenda of making out that it's a fucking shit time. And look, there's shit times and tough times, whatever stage of the market that you're in. Being an entrepreneur, you're always going to be dealing with problems. So it's just a case of understanding, okay, there's some stuff going on at the minute, but there is an opportunity to fucking thrive and win. And, you know, whatever comes up is just whatever it fucking is, and you deal with it as it comes. It's no good listening to talk and hype and what ifs and what could happen. Let's just deal with what's fucking in front of us today and do what we need to do today to move forward to where you want to get to. And the other opportunity I want to talk about is that the fact is construction is a dinosaur. It is left behind. It is way off the mark in terms of being sexy, really, as an industry to be in. Young people are not coming into it. But one of the most important things to recognise, and the opportunity for anyone that is in this business, is that most businesses in construction, and some others as well, like engineering and manufacturing, they're owned by older people. It's called like the baby boomer generation. So there was a lot of people, I mean, I've read stats because I've been heavily interested in this myself in terms of like mergers and acquisitions and buying companies, because there's a lot of older people in their 60s, no succession plan, no staff really to hand the business over, that someone could actually run the business, no real common sense of understanding how to sell the business, how to exit it. And a lot of these businesses are shutting shop. They're just shutting the doors. So there is an opportunity there that the older people are trying to get out. They don't really quite know how to do it. And obviously supply and demand. If older people are shutting the doors on businesses, there is more demand there for filling out these services. So anything from groundworks, brickworks, electrical, plumbing, tiling, you name it, any trade within construction, the supply and demand curve is getting really pinched because you've got people leaving the market at the top end, the older people that own the businesses, and you've got a lack of people coming in at the bottom end of the market, the apprentices, the younger people setting up because it's not sexy, but it's a bricks and mortar business. It's solid. It is fucking solid. So the opportunity is huge because all of these colliding factors. One thing that never ever stops is construction. Ever. It propped up the whole country, the whole world in COVID, which is like the worst imaginable time for things to go wrong. And it's just massively, massively overlooked. So I strongly believe if you are in this industry, whatever part of it, whatever bubble you're in of it, whatever service you offer that's under the construction umbrella, if you like, there is a fucking massive opportunity, which leads me back to my first point of time of year, people giving up. Most people are like that. Most people put the brakes on, they give up, they start slowing down, they start writing off the rest of the year. And you might even do this yourself. You might have recognised, or you might now recognise, now that I'm saying this to you on this podcast, that you may have had thoughts in your head of, yeah, we'll do that next year. We'll look at that next year. I'll look at that next week. I don't feel like it at the minute. And all this little fucking victim bitch mentality starts slipping in. So the whole purpose of this episode is to wake you up and give you that wake up call. Don't be that guy. Do not be that guy. Do not be that girl. If you're listening to this, I don't get many female listeners, but there's a few of you out there I know. Don't be that fucking person that's like everyone else, that because it's dark, because it's colder, because the motivation's a little bit lower, you're not doing everything that you could be doing to push yourself forward. And this is one of the hardest things of being an entrepreneur, because you spend a lot of your time in your own head. Everything's on you, and actually sometimes you're actually your worst own boss, because you've still got to manage yourself, and you've got to manage your own standards yourself as a person. And one thing that I learned young on was from the guy that I first started working with, Graham, old school, hard bastard, played rugby, did not give a fuck about any emotion or anything. He was the guy that you would graft your tits off, and you do a fucking good job. You would do a good job. You do it quick. You do it good. And you would work your nut off. And he fucking knew that as well. And I remember loads of times this would happen. You would do it, and then you'd look at him and go, yeah, I've done that. That's all good. And it'd be early as fuck. It'd be like 2:00. And he'd just look at you and go, so what? Like, zero recognition. Zero fucking, like, well done, boy. No rubbing of your chin. Nothing. He was literally just like, well, crack on. Still got 2 hours to go. And what I mean by that is there's not enough of hard bastards like that now. Like, the world is very, very soft. And the best person in your life is the person that kicks you in the balls and actually tells you the truth and actually holds you accountable to a better standard and a higher output. And this world today, I believe, is a very soft world. And I think that's why people like the Andrew Tates and that have really blown up, because finally you've got someone speaking out and saying how it is, and people are conscious and aware of it, that we're becoming a fucking woke nation full of weakos, and people want to work from home, people don't want to speak to people anymore. This is the reality of larger, wider society, and this is what I mean about the opportunity. The opportunity for the people, I know out of 100 people listening to this, there's 2 of you that are going, this guy is speaking fucking sense. I get it. There's an opportunity there to actually dominate, because, believe it or not, people don't want to call people. People don't want to communicate with people. People don't want to talk to people. They're stuck on their phones. They're glued on their fucking phones. They're not going out there building relationships. They're not going out there going above and beyond for the customers. They're not going out there trying to win more work, even though you're at a comfortable level. You're not going out there pushing, win more. And I'll tell you one thing for free. The people that win in recessions, tougher times, are the people that don't take the brakes off. They're the people that market more. They're the people that reinvest back into the business and keep things flowing. They're the people that go without now because you're going to get more later, and adopting that mindset of building something serious and not just a tiny little vehicle that if one thing happens, you're fucked. You're building a wall around you and a perimeter around you that you're solid. Your business is built on really good revenue in the bank. It's built on really good customers. It's built on really good teams and staff. It's built on really good ownership and leadership of the business. So the opportunity is fucking here now, because, you see it now. The gyms are emptier. People are like, backing off. They're just not fucking engaged. And the thing is, once you start doing that in one area of your life, you start doing it in all the areas of your life. One thing starts slipping. You stop going to the gym. You stop eating as well. You stop giving a shit about the business as much. You stop getting back to the customers as quick as you would have done normally. And it's just a fucking one-way road. It's a one-way road. It's a poor mindset and a poor outlook to get. So the opportunity there for someone who gives a shit to move on, because you're going to set yourself above the rest. If you're the person that's going harder this time of year, and this is something that I do, this time of year, I'm going fucking harder. I'm getting up earlier. I'm going out walking. I'm getting my steps in. I'm going to the gym. I'm training harder. I'm pushing myself harder. I'm doing more. I'm doing more content. I'm doing more work. I'm doing more business. I'm deliberately doing stuff that's harder, because I know most people are not doing that. Most people are not doing that. People would not think about even this podcast, it's quite inconvenient for me to do, but I'm doing it more, I'm doing it harder because I'm doing more content, I'm doing more creation because it's part of my bigger plan. I'm playing a game of chess of building an audience, building a brand, and building my name out there in the industry. And it's done by doing the fucking relentless over and over and over again, and doing it when maybe you don't feel like doing it. Some days I don't feel like doing it. I've got other things better to be doing, but it's part of a bigger game, and I'm just stuck in the rut of bang it out, just bang it out, go harder, do it. And that's the mindset you guys need to be adopting as well, because that is the opportunity that you can seize on. Because I really genuinely think if you build a solid business and push through, when all this comes into fruition, like I said earlier about the older people where their businesses are going to shut them down, it's going to create massive opportunities for you to grab chunks of the market, because you're going to be able to pick stuff up. You're going to be able to pick up lads when those doors shut. You're going to be able to pick up units. You're going to be able to pick up buildings. You're going to be able to pick up machinery. Whatever business you're in, you are going to be able to absorb stuff for very, very cheap on the pound. Whereas 2 years ago, pre-COVID, low interest rates, everyone's booming, everyone's thriving. The opportunities of getting deals and opportunities and business relationships, very, very small, because everyone's thriving. And when everyone's winning and it's easy, the opportunities are quite low, because everyone's got money in their pocket, everyone's got the good times, everyone's got plenty of work. The moment the tough times come, that's when people get washed out. That's when people get shown. And there's a quote, I can't remember, I think it was Warren Buffett or maybe his partner, Charlie Munger. I can't remember the exact quote, but it's something like, when the tide goes out, you see what people are really wearing. And what he means by that, when everyone's covered up and everything's great, it's all good. But once that tide goes out, if you've got nothing on, you're naked, you're really exposed. And the message behind that is doing the work and being prepared and being in a position to take advantage of the opportunity, because it is coming. I 1,000,000% believe that. I believe massively, because I remember 2008, the opportunities that arose from that. I know people that made certain moves in that time period after 2009, 2010, massively changed their whole life and dramatically, because the opportunities were there. 2008, everyone was in negative equity. The house builders and the mortgage companies were doing 100% mortgages, even 105%, 110% in some cases, because they wanted to just get fucking cash out. And that's what it just become, over leveraged. The banks lent out too money, people started defaulting, and it just created a massive crash in everything. And what that does for the right-minded entrepreneur is creates opportunities to buy stuff that's very cheap, opportunities to get hold of stuff without actually putting money in, taking the burden away from people. Because you imagine, if you're a 70-year-old business owner, you've got a couple of $100,000 worth of machinery, maybe a workshop, and your options are just close the doors and lose everything, or someone actually comes in, takes over that business, and then you can do a deal where you pay back that person over time. That is better than just shutting the doors. Whereas when everything's thriving and there's loads of buyers in the market, those opportunities are not going to be available. So that it is all going to come around full circle. The opportunities come in. But my message to you guys today is that you've got to be the people doing the work now. Getting your head down and keep pushing on. Go harder. Push on. Don't take your eye off the ball now and take your foot off the gas now. This is the time to fucking push. And this is where you see the men being separated from the boys. And unfortunately, 99% of business owners, they are the boys. They're not doing the work they need to do. 99% of people in life are the boys. They only put in effort when they feel like it, when they're motivated to do it. And the hard bastards are the people that do it when they don't feel like fucking doing it. And you just get the fucking work done with the attitude of, I'm here to fucking win. And that is the attitude that I want you guys to have. If I can have one person have that attitude from listening to me chat bollocks and just saying it how it fucking is, then I've done my job, and this podcast episode has served someone fucking well. But that's what I want to get to the point of, is just getting more people geared up and built up, because this leads into massive controversy and controversial opinions. But no wonder we have got women who are trying to become men, because we haven't got men that are pushing on and actually doing what is required to get ahead. And if you think about the times, right? If you are born in the UK, you are massively ahead of anyone else in the world anyway. Bar America as well, very rich country. You're born into a fantastic economy. The opportunity is rife. You can set up a business today. You can be earning money today. You've got no restrictions. Nothing is going to stop you. It is all set up for you to win. There's plenty of money in the economy. If you're born in India or in China and you live in the mountains, you are limited in what you can do. We've got so much opportunity with the fact of just having a phone, social media, and being able to call people and do business. You can do business today and to get money in today. And it's taken for granted, and we've got grown men, moaning about their circumstances and how difficult it is when it's so fucking easy. Everything is right there in front of us. You've just got to go after it and do the work and be relentless of it. And we need people, we need men that are stronger and can fucking weather the storms and actually do what is required. I 1,000,000% believe in that and back in that. I think that is the root cause of a lot of the issues we've got, when everyone's arguing about what gender they are. Everyone's arguing about what you should call them and how you should pronounce their fucking names, and it's just all getting a bit fucking lost. And there's just no place for that in business. And obviously construction is fucking like, fuck. People say how it is, no one is sugarcoating stuff or trying to be something they're not. And look, me saying all that stuff, whatever anyone wants to do, you fucking crack on. If you want to be if you want to change your sex, if you want to change your name, if you want to fucking you do what you fucking want. You fucking, whatever makes you makes you happy. But I believe the root cause of that is people are fucking lost because we haven't got enough strength and backbone in people. And the thing is, are we going to change that? No. Is anyone going to change that from listening to me in this podcast? No. The society is too far gone. It's a way bigger problem than anyone that one person can solve. But if people listening to this can become a slightly stronger male and be slightly hungrier, go after bigger goals and not cave in and be a fucking bit more of a beast, then we can change it one at a time and we can maybe have a bit of a more positive impact and actually get the world going in a bit of a better place. But it's all going to come back to you guys. You listening to this, the opportunities are fucking there. I am telling you, I am dead certain, 1,000,000%. Everyone's giving up this time of year. All of the stars are aligning for the construction industry, for the right people there to fucking take it. If you've got the right vehicle in front of you, you're building a solid business, you're keeping cash in the business, you're not stripping that business out of the cash to buy a set of fucking Louis trainers or a nice watch. You're keeping the business really fucking strong. You're going after it, you're quoting work, you're delivering great jobs, you're pushing forwards, you're investing in your team, you're investing back in yourself, you're becoming a better person yourself. And you're looking after yourself, you're being the best that you can possibly be, and you're just being a fucking good person. It's what it all comes down to as well, is being a good fucking egg. Not being a prick, not being deceitful, not lying to people, being a good person. The opportunities are there. So take this podcast as that opportunity to seize that, do the work. Don't fall part of the fucking media and the victim thing of, it's darker outside, it's colder outside, I'm shutting down soon, I'm stopping, I'm clocking off, I'm taking a step back. It is not the time to be doing that. You've got plenty of time to be doing that when you're 60, when you're sat on the beach and you're retired. You can fucking do that then. This is the time now to push on, push harder, and really get what you want. So I hope that's been useful, guys. Because really, if you don't adopt that mentality, you are just going to be the average. You are going to be like everyone else. And the minute I say that to myself, because look, I'll be totally transparent. There are times when I feel like I don't want to do stuff. I'm not fucking different to anyone else. But the moment I then say to myself in the head, but I'm just going to be like everyone else if I do that, fucking hell, it's like a kick in the dick. It fucking kills me. The moment I say that to myself, and maybe this will be a useful tool for yourself, the moment I say that to myself, that I'll just be like everyone else if I don't do this, it just turns on that drive and that just switch of going, oh, I'm not fucking like everyone else. That's not fucking me, and that's not what I want to fucking be. I'm here to be in the top 1% throughout life, every single fucking thing. So maybe that will help you guys as well, of just saying that message to you, and use what you've got, use what fuels you. Because if you do use that and you turn it on and you do more, you get after it, you play the bigger game, and you seize and you recognise the fucking opportunities in front of you, then you will just be ahead. And in 2 years, 5 years, you're going to be in a massively fucking different place to everyone else. Whereas everyone else is going to be wondering what's gone on. Whereas you're going to be the person sitting there going, I know exactly what's gone on because I pushed on. I cracked on. I did what was required at the time. I did the difficult decisions. I made those difficult decisions, and I pushed on through the grind and the hard bit. And this is what it's all about. It's just about having a higher stress tolerance and a higher pain management of going against the grain and doing things. And there's another saying I just want to say as I sort of wrap this one up, is that in difficult times, observe the masses, do the opposite. And that has served me so fucking well. Big, massive, successful people say the same thing. The moment that everyone's doing something is a time that you need to do the fucking opposite. And that doesn't mean be fucking fruity and do something quirky that's never been done before. You get the premise of what I'm saying. That the premise of what I'm saying through this podcast is that the moment that everyone else is starting to tail off and do less is the moment that you do the opposite and you do more. You push on, you grow, you challenge yourself and you push yourself and you get out of your comfort zone and you do more. You know, just do fucking more. That is it. You know, if you can just do a bit more and just fucking push, you're going to be ahead by most people anyway. So that's the message today from that podcast. I hope you found this useful. Look, guys, just to wrap up, if you like this podcast, do let me know. It's really nice to get some messages off people genuinely. I'm a real person at the end of the day. At Dean Barton Real on Instagram. You can drop me a DM and let me know. It's really good to hear your feedback. But equally, if there's stuff that you want to listen to or stuff you want more of or stuff you want less of, let me know as well. It's just good to at the end of the day, I'm a normal human person, so it's just nice to get that feedback. And if you do like it, please do share the podcast on the socials. It really helps it out to grow. We are ticking away. And look, this is prime example of everything starts small and at zero. Everyone starts a podcast at zero. Everyone starts a business at zero. Everyone starts a fucking fitness regime at zero. Everyone starts everything starts at zero. And the point is, it's in the mileage of growing it and doing the rise. And what's quite nice is you guys that are going to listen to this from early on, you'll be able to see that rise and that coming up, because I know that I will keep pumping it out. I won't stop. I'll keep pushing on, because I live and breathe exactly what I'm telling you guys on the podcast. So it's nice to be in the growth stages. It's what makes you feel alive of watching something grow and build and get traction. So if you do like it, please do share. It really helps. And I will see you guys on the next one. Get to fucking work.